this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to show you another project from the holiday catalog. I can't, as I said in my last video, I cannot show you the inside, but I wanted to show you the outside real quick. And if you don't have a demonstrator and would love to have a catalog, just email me, and my email is below in the video description, and I'll get one mailed out to you right away. Believe me, you're going to want this catalog. It is wonderful. Okay, I'm going to be making a fall project though, because fall's coming before Christmas. I will do a Christmas video, I promise. But this one features the Come Gather ribbon suite. I'm using almost everything in the suite. The only thing I'm not using are some wood embellishments to come in the suite. But first off, I'm using the stamp set Gather Together. And it comes as, you can buy these separately or together. If you bundle the dies, these are the gathered leaves dies, so that you can bundle them together and save 10%, or you can buy them separately. But the best deal is to do it with the bundle catalog number. And if you like everything in the suite, there is a easy button. You just use the one catalog number for the whole suite, and you can buy everything at the same time. And one thing, the suite number does include the bundle at 10% off, so you don't have to worry about thinking, okay, am I paying full price for the stamp set? And the dies, you're not. You're getting the bundle price. So it's a pretty good deal. So, and what I love about these dies, you can see there's some that will cut out some of the images out of this stamp set. And I love how they've given us 2 of the double pumpkin, because I figure we probably want more than that. Now in my card, I'm only using 1, but I'm sure I'll want to use more than 1, so I love that. And these do cut out leaves, but they also emboss the veins inside, and I'll be showing you that here in the card I'm making. Really neat fall bundle. And I love fall. I don't know about you. I love making fall projects. Fall colors are just gorgeous. Now the fall colors in this are a little different from what you usually think of for fall, but I really think they could go good together. I'm using the colors that are in the Come Gather Designer Series paper, and I'll show you those here in a minute. But this is a card I'll be making. And if you saw my coffin treat video, then you've seen this embossing folder, and I want to show you how you can use this embossing folder on things other than Halloween. See, it looks really good with a fall card. I think it's pretty enough. You could probably put it on a wedding card. Any card you'd want, this embossing folder will work. So I love our versatility on that folder. Let me hurry up and show you the paper real quick, because this is some pretty paper. Now I cut them down to 6x6 just because it's a little easier to show, but it actually comes in 12x12. You get 2 sheets of each design, and they're double-sided, so you get a total of 12 sheets. So that's a pretty combo with this. That one. And I'm using this one in the card. No, take that back. That's not the one. I was almost used that one in the card, but isn't that pretty? I like that one. And there's this one, that side. I am using this one in the card. There's the other side for that one. And I'm using this one for the card. Yep, gingham, love gingham. So another pretty designer series paper pack. We have got so many pretty designer paper this year. I love it. Okay, now I'm going to show you real quick the Stylish Scroll embossing folder. Now this is one of the regular folders. It's not a 3D, but as you can tell, it just makes beautiful embossing. Okay, let's grab everything that you need. First off, you need your mint macaron piece. This is 8.5 by 5.5 for the card base. This is the 4 by 5.25 inch piece of Whisper White, and as you can tell, I went ahead and embossed it just to save time in the video. Oh, we got a piece from my last video. There we go. Then a piece of Designer Series paper. This is that Come Together DSP, and it's a 4 by 1.5. And another piece of that same DSP. It's 4 by 3.25. A piece of Early Espresso, it's 2 by 2. Piece of copper foil, 1.5 by 1.5. A piece of Whisper White, this is 3 by 1.75. This will be for the pumpkins. And a 3 by 1, which is for the greeting banner. And I'm also using, there's a ribbon combo pack, it's called Come Together. It's in the same suite. And this one is the pretty tan looking one. I can't remember the exact color. I'll put it in the text in the video. I had a blank there, but isn't that pretty? I love that. And I'll show you real quick the ribbon that goes with it. There's also some Cajun Craze thread that goes along with it. So this is the Come Together ribbon combo pack. I'm just using this ribbon for this card. Okay, let's move those out of the way. fold the card base, and then we'll set it to the side and ready to go. Okay, put that over here. Now I'm going to bring in my embossed piece, and I'm going to bring in, this is another one of our metallic ink pads that are in the holiday catalog. This one is the Celestial Copper Delicata. I love this ink. Like I said in my coffin video, that sounds kind of funny, coffin video, but in my coffin treat box video, that this ink dries a lot faster than the other metallic inks we've had in the past. So right now I'm going to do a direct to paper thing like I did with the coffin that I made earlier. And we're just going to take the ink pad and just keep going right across it. As you can see, I'm holding it up. I think you get a little more control if you're holding it rather than laying it flat on your table. And I'm not going to have to do the whole thing. It's just going to be the top part. I'm going down a little farther than I think I need to go though, because I don't want to put on the card and then have a white area, a white spot. But I just love, I'm going to be doing this a lot with this folder because I think it just looks so pretty. It really brings out the detail in the embossing folder when you do that too. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring in the pumpkin designer paper. I'm going to bring my glue in. I think this is better to use when you've got working with embossed pieces of cardstock because it stays on a lot better. You can still use snail, but I think it works a lot better with the glue. There we go. I thought I was running out there for a second. We'll just put that at the bottom. Make sure the pumpkins are facing the right direction. If you're like me, you've probably put things on upside down before. It's a very easy thing to do. Okay, now we've got that down. Now I'm going to take this designer series paper, but I'm going to put it up a little higher because I'm going to put in ribbon across here, and I wanted more of this to show. But I'm still going to make it the gap to make sure it's narrower than my ribbon because I don't want to have a white space. Okay. I just love these colors. That dark blue is the Pretty Peacock, and the light green is Mint Macaron. So there we go, that's ready to go. Now, I think I forgot to give you the sizes of the ribbon. This is a 6-inch and this is a 5-inch. I'm going to grab the 6-inch piece. And this time I'm going to use my snail because I think it works better. The ribbon, with the ribbon with glue, a lot of times I have trouble with it anyway, getting it to stick. So I'm going to use my snail instead. Kind of got that end folded a little bit. Let's get that taken care of. Okay, that's, well, a little better. It's okay if it stays down. See, that glue works pretty good. Okay, so lay that across. We want to make sure it covers that empty spot. Then you just wrap the edges around, make sure it's straight. Okay, now it's ready to be put on the card base. So you always want to make sure you get your ribbon on there. It is so easy to forget to put your ribbon around it and then put it on your card. And it's really hard to get it back off again sometimes, especially with this glue. When you use the glue, it stays down very, very well. Okay, that should be plenty. Bring in my card base. Remember, this is Mint Macaron for the card base. And just put that right in the center. Get center as good as I can at least. There we go, that looks pretty good. Just make sure you push everything down so it's good and attached, and that's it. That's going to stay put. The glue works very well. Okay, now we're going to do some stamping. Okay, now I'm going to take the 3-inch by 1-inch piece, stick it right here in the guide, put it in as far as it can go, make sure it's in there straight, and punch. And you get a perfect banner. Get that out of the way. And now I'm going to take the Gather Together stamp and my Early Espresso ink pad. And get that inked up. And I'm going to stamp on the left side with the banner being on the left side also. Hold that down a little bit. I probably should have grabbed my, oh, that worked fine. You normally want to use your Stampin' Pierce mat. I'm going to go ahead and get that out for my next one. This has a little push to it, so that's why it stamps so well. But I'm definitely going to do it with my pumpkins because those I definitely want to stamp really well. So I'm grabbing my last piece of Whisper White. This is a 3 by 1 3/4, and I'm going to stamp them with the Memento Tuxedo Black. First I'll stamp the big pumpkin, make sure I got it inked up really well. Put it there, hold it down a few seconds, perfect. And I'll do my little pumpkins here. Oops, doesn't look like I got those inked up very well. There we go. And that's all the stamping we're gonna do. But we are gonna color these guys in before I die cut them. I think it's always easier to color before you die cut because you've got more to hold on to. So here's my pretty peacock ink pad. I'm squeezing the bottom and the top together so I can get a pool of ink right here. Here, let me done with the early espresso, so let's go ahead and put that away. Here's my mint macaron. I'm going to do the same thing, squeeze it. Now I've got my nice little pool there. I'm going to pick up my blender pen, and I've got a scrap piece of paper right here. First I'm going to use the pretty peacock on the big one. I'm going to take a little bit of the ink off. And where I want it to be dark, I want it to be darker along the lines. So I'll start there and then go to the center to make it a little lighter. Just keep coloring until it gets to be too light. I think that's pretty good. I'm always going to start, because I want that to be darker, start on the parts where I want it to be dark first. And then color in the rest of it. And now I'm going to go back in and darken these edges up where the lines are. Gives it more of a watercolor two-tone effect. There we go. I think this lasts a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to clean this off. You just keep going until you get all the ink off. There we go. This one's taking a little longer than usual. There we go. Now I'll get some mint macaron. I'm going to do the same thing here. I want all of these to be mint macaron, both of these. So once again, I'm starting on a line where I know I want it to be darker and then going. Now the mint macaron, you end up having to pick up more ink just because it's a lighter color. That pretty peacock goes quite a ways without having to re-ink it. Now I'm going to go back and darken up the lines again. It makes you look like an artist. Okay, that looks pretty good. Darken that one up a little bit. There. Now, oh, I forgot to do the tops of those guys. Now, one thing, I forgot I do need my early espresso, so I'm going to bring that back in again. Close these up because I am done with these. And grab this, and this is what I'm going to color the stem in, and I've already got some ink. Get my mint macaron cleaned off. Pick up these, and I'm going to do the stems with the early espresso ink. There we go. Easy peasy. And I always, even though I'm done coloring, I always clean it off so then I know it. Don't have a surprise the next time I go to use my blender pen on another. I've had that happen before where I forgot to clean it. It's like, oops, ruined my project and I have to start all over again. So now I'll bring in my die cutting machine. First, I'm going to grab the dies that I'm using. We're going to be using the big pumpkin, one of the double pumpkins, using the small leaf, and this maple looking leaf here. Grab my die cutting machine. Okay. And I'm going to grab my copper piece and my early espresso piece. And I'm probably not going to be able to get both of these pumpkins on here. We'll see. They might be a little too close. Sometimes you can get them on there that close. Sometimes you can't. We'll see if we can get this to work. Oh, it does work. Perfect. Wasn't sure. I was afraid I might have stamped them a little too close together. And sometimes when you do that, they end up moving around on you. But that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take the big maple leaf that goes on the early espresso, and this one goes on the copper. And yes, it does emboss the copper too. So these are the two that I told you about that cut and emboss at the same time. So go ahead and put those back on. Run it through the die cutting machine. And once you do it, we don't have to do it any more than that because they're not real delicate dies. Hurry up and get these guys popped out. Oh, it looks like that one might have moved on me a little bit. That's okay. Probably should have done them separately. I think it moved on me. But look at how neat that embossing is. You can really see it on the foil one. That's so neat. I love that. I love our dies. Okay. Get the paper out of the way. We don't need that anymore. Now we're going to put this together. I'm going to grab my banner, put some, well actually, like I said, since this is embossed, we're going to use my multi-purpose glue again. Put some on here. There we go. I think this one's starting to run out a little bit. And I'm going to put it right here. I don't want it all the way to the edge of my white. And having this with the gold makes it so that you can still see the white label. These are both Whisper White cardstocks, but it's nice having that gold on there. Okay, now I know I'm going to be putting this here, and I'm going to be putting this here. This one is going to be popped up with dimensionals, so I'm going to go ahead and put a couple dimensionals on here. I'm going to do a couple just because I'm afraid if I put it right in the middle, it's going to wobble on me a little bit. Could almost get by without doing that. So first off, I know I'm going to want this. If I can grab a hold of it, there we go, under here. So I want to figure out where I want that first before I lay this down, because I won't be able to stick it underneath here. So let's go ahead and put some glue on here. I know I'm going to have this here. Since it's not attached yet, now I can kind of play around with it and just lift it up and put this leaf right where I want it. And being with the glue, I can move it around until I like it, and then you just push it down where you want it. Okay, and then I do the same thing with the brown. Let's put some more glue on it. Okay, and I'm going to want it over here. Move it over a little bit more. I don't want it to go past the edge of the card. There we go. Now this is ready to go, so I'll go ahead and put this on. Now that I have my leaves all figured out, put this right here. I've got the bottom of the pumpkin lined up with the bottom edge of the banner. This one will take the paper backing off the dimensionals and put this on. Okay. The paper backing didn't want to go. There we go. And now I'm going to grab in the 5-inch piece of the ribbon. I'm going to put it underneath the attached ribbon, and then I'm going to tie it on with just a single knot. I could have just used one piece, but I think that this is a little easier, and it also saves on your ribbon. You don't use quite as much because you're not having to wrap it completely around the cardstock. And this is another thing I like about it. Let me cut these at an angle, and I'll show you the other part I like about it. I want this over a little bit, so I can just slide this down a little bit to where I want it. So that's another nice reason to do it that way. And that's the card. My first fall card of the year. Plan to be making a ton more. I love fall cards. So I hope you enjoyed today's card. If you want to be notified every time I do videos, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure that you click on the little bell icon. That makes it so you get notifications. You have to click on that bell to be able to get notifications. So that way you won't miss any of my videos. I think that's it. Also, if you want to earn a $50 shopping spree on me, make sure you click on my Doily Rewards link at the bottom in the video description, and it'll tell you how you can get that. And also, you can follow me on Pinterest, Instagram, and my blog, and Facebook. And all those links are below too. So have a great day. Bye.